see, where you've always got the constant, well, it's not constant, but the little paranoid voice in your back of your head going, oh, someone will sue you if you do this wrong, someone will sue you if you do this wrong. I had it in the back of my mind because I was wanting to write a novel about a small town that, God, if I actually try and use a proper small town, someone will come along and say, that's me she's talking about, I'm going to sue you. So, there was a little nagging voice in the back of my head. But then, I looked at other novels and series that use fictional places, and I thought, I like the idea of my readers being able to connect or relate to a proper physical place. And I'm so glad I did that. I've had so many people come up to me and say, oh yeah, I used to live in Gore, I used to live in Mataura, or my dad used to work at Mataura, or I've driven through Mataura, I blinked and missed Mataura. Everyone seems to have this little connection with the place, which has been delightful. And for that particular place, it was a pragmatic choice. At the time when I was writing Overkill, I was actually living in Napier. But I needed a place with a meatworks and a river. So got the computer out, Google, meatworks, river, New Zealand. Had the atlas beside me, and it flashed up with all these names, including one of them was Wairau, which was only 2 hours up the road and would be very easy to research, but Wairau scared the hell out of me, actually. I didn't want to go to Wairau to research. At that stage it wasn't a nice place. I'm sure it improved, I hope. But as soon as I saw Mataura on the list, I thought, bingo, that's the one I want. There were a few reasons for that. First one, I'm a newspaperaholic. I devour the newspapers. I have more clippings around the house than I know what to do with. They threaten to fall off an avalanche and just cover small children.
Oh my goodness.
But I knew about Mataura, and I remember the floods. I remember the paper mill closing. So I knew it has in recent history lost a large employer. At that time also a number of the meatworks were struggling, so there was always that potential there that their other remaining large employer could be shaky. So I thought, well, Mataura smacked of the desperation that I needed to have a little seething underbelly happening in this novel. And the other reason was, I lived in the North Island, but to me, oddly enough, South Island seemed far more heartland New Zealand than anything in the North Island could. You think of North Island, you think of farming and agriculture, you think of the Waikato. But South Island just seemed like the mainland. It was hardcore New Zealand, so Mataura had to be it. And I think that people connect with Mataura, they've been through it. I haven't actually been back to Mataura since I wrote the novel, although I've heard some lovely anecdotal stories, like one of the town crazy, if that's quite the right term, going into the police station, slapping my novel down on the counter and said, do you know what's going on in this town?
Oh dear.
But most people I know from Mataura are just delighted that someone realised the town existed and decided to write a novel about it.
Oh, yes, as well.
Now, Mataura is a small town, and in this novel, Sam Shepherd, who is my main character, she's a young female. In Mataura, she's a sole charge police constable. The joys of fiction is that you can lie a little. Mataura Station actually has 2 police officers, but I made it 1. Why not bend the truth? And in the second novel, I decided, well, I wanted Sam Shepherd to be an ambitious kind of a girl. She wasn't just going to settle with being a police constable. She wanted to be a detective. But to do that, she needed to come to Dunedin to do detective training. And also to burn her bridges a wee bit in Mataura. And so in the second novel, which is The Ringmaster, which is this one here, I chose to bring her over to Dunedin and have the setting here. One of the lovely things about having it, at this stage we'd also moved to Dunedin, as fate would have it. So Dunedin was easy to research. Although when I started the novel, we weren't living here, and I'd come down for a holiday, and the sort of things you do on your holiday, wandering around, taking photographs, trying to find places to dump bodies. Pretty new edge to holiday making when you're looking for things like that. But being able to set it in Dunedin was great, and I had to do research. And I sacrificed myself so much to do research, because characters eat, and they drink coffee, and they go to restaurants and drink good wine, and I felt obliged to research. So, and again, with wanting to keep the reality of setting and being able to connect I wrote to a few cafes and asked, well, do you mind if I have my characters come and sit and eat and, you know, have a Modex cinnamon pinwheel and a nice lump of raspberry and coconut cake at the good oil and, you know, sample the wine and food at Nova. And people have said that. They said to me, oh, I was sitting in Nova the other day thinking, oh, Sam Shepherd came here. So again, it's that lovely thing of being able to connect your readership with the place. You know, it's quite nice for the Dunedin people because they sort of get the in-jokes and things like that, but even for people who are from out of town or whatever, they recognise enough of the landmarks to make it interesting for them. One of the pitfalls of setting things in a real place and in a real time, because the Ringmaster, or both novels are actually set on a specific date, the Ringmaster is set last year, is that sometimes events happen and life starts imitating art. I should add, in another nice little way of lying, I actually made the Highlanders win a game of rugby.
Oh my goodness.
The advantages of being an author, you can adjust the truth. But there are a few little things that happened. The Ringmaster, as the name suggests, is about a circus coming to town. And in the Ringmaster, the circus comes and it stays at the Oval. And in the Ringmaster, the circus has an elephant. And it brings its elephant with it. And the animal rights activists get a little bit wootsy about the elephant. And there's quite dramatic things that happen regarding the circus and the elephant. In the book, Sam Shepherd looks at the Otago Daily Times, and there on the front page of the Otago Daily Times is a picture of the elephant. And lo and behold, I go out to my letterbox earlier in the year when the Liverits Brothers circus was here, and open my Otago Daily Times, and there's a picture of the flaming elephant. So courtesy of some of the drama that happens in this book, I did not relax until that circus left. I've never been more grateful for it to leave town than this book did. But one of the other little things there is that Sam Shepherd parked her car over on the far side of, behind the railway station. And in a particular scene in this book, she trotted across the overbridge. And then, shortly after I'd sent the book in for publication, the freight train took out the overbridge. So, unless Sam Shepherd had developed the art of levitation, I had to amend that wee bit. Fortunately, the book was in a big typeset and everything like that, but just one paragraph was enough to amend that. So I was able to change that so I didn't look like a complete and utter idiot. We never quite like to look like idiots. We're under risk all the time. The third one was really, really difficult and caused a lot of angst, and that was in the Ringmaster. The victim is a young woman student in Dunedin. And so, I'd written this novel and I'd sent it into the publishers and it was all typeset and everything and, ready to go out to the printers. And Sophie Elliott was moving in Dunedin. So that was really, really difficult time. I mean, apart from the whole horror of even imagining something like that happening, there was also the whole, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? How many people are going to go, oh, that heartless, inconsiderate author, fancy writing a novel like that when we've had this happen in our own hometown. Then not even realising that I had written it well and truly before that. And then, you do get some dumb nut text messages, emails. My sister sent me a text message, oh, do you think he read the book first?